Why are we so sick and still invisible? Why are millions of women being dismissed, misdiagnosed, or told it's just anxiety? Or worse, dysautonomia, POTS, or any other type of dysautonomia? Let me tell you what I discovered, and it changed everything. Have you ever gone to the doctor and known something is wrong, but every single test comes back normal? Well, what if I told you the test was the problem? Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Standard Lyme tests were never built to find real Lyme disease. Not the chronic cases, not the neurological cases, and not the ones like mine, not the ones like yours. Let me break it down really simple. The Lyme bacteria is called Borrelia burgdorferi. It is a master of disguise, and it doesn't come alone. It brings friends like Babesia, Bartonella, Mycoplasma, Epstein-Barr, cytomegalovirus, like the list goes on. And together, they destroy your immune system. We're talking about a full body breakdown, like AIDS level collapse. Your body tries to fight it, but it can't because the bacteria outsmarts it. Here's how. Lyme wears a special jacket called an OSP. That stands for, like fancy name, outer surface protein. It's what your immune system looks for to say, oh, that is the bad guy. So Lyme is very smart. It takes off the jacket and throws it into the ground and runs away. And your immune system is still chasing the jacket, still attacking the thing it left behind, not the actual infection. Imagine you're at the airport and you're a security guard. And then you've been told to stop anyone in a denim jacket. Lyme walks through wearing a hoodie, drops a denim jacket on the floor, and just walks right past you. You arrest the jacket, but the real threat is already on the plane. That's what's happening inside your body if you have Lyme. And your lab tests, they're only looking for denim jackets too. So, if the bacteria took off its jacket, you test negative. Even if you have brain fog, even if you're collapsing from exhaustion, dysautonomia, chronic fatigue syndrome, you name it. Even if your joints hurt, your heart races, and your nervous system is melting down. You go to the doctor and you're told you're fine. Now, here's what really pisses me off. A little bit of history. In 1994, there was a meeting behind closed doors called the Dearborn Conference. Public health officials, testing labs, and vaccine developers came together and did something most people still don't know about. They changed the definition of Lyme disease. I am not exaggerating. They rewrote the rule. They said, you only have Lyme if you have a swollen knee, arthritis, symptoms. That's it. So if your Lyme disease attacks your brain, your heart, your hormones, too bad. You don't count. But here's the part that most people never hear. At the exact same time, a Lyme vaccine was being developed, and that vaccine needed to look like it worked. So what happened? They manipulated the test. They deleted key markers like OSPA and OSPB. Remember the jackets? So that only about 15% of real Lyme cases would test positive. That way, if someone got the vaccine and still got sick, the test wouldn't detect it. So they could say, look, no positives, the vaccine works. But it didn't. The vaccine was made from OSPA, the same outer surface protein, jacket, that Lyme uses to shut down your immune system. And instead of protecting the people, it made them sick. Some got worse. Some became disabled. It triggered a full body immune collapse. Eventually, the vaccine was pulled from the market, but not because of safety. They claimed because of a lack of interest. You're right, for Lyme disease. See, this wasn't just bad policy. It was a system protecting itself at the expense of millions of patients. That's why today many refer to it as the Lyme crime, a coordinated cover-up that it feels really bad, but it left millions misdiagnosed and untreated. Entire advocacy groups are still calling for a criminal investigation because the same people who helped rig the test still profit from it. They left people like me and probably people like you in the dark, sick, erased. And the worst part is that broken test, the one that was never designed to find neurological Lyme, chronic Lyme, immune disabling Lyme, is still being used right now. So if your Lyme disease shows up as dysautonomia, POTS, anxiety, depression, weight gain, insomnia, rage, panic attacks, memory loss, or hormonal collapse, guess what? You don't get a diagnosis. You don't get help, and you don't even get believed. That includes me. So here's the kicker. I was never bitten by a tick because Lyme isn't just from ticks either. It can come from mosquitoes, fleas, lice, mites. It can be sexually transmitted. It can be passed from mother to baby. It's been found in air, water, even soil. Over 60 ways to get infected. And still doctors only ask, have you ever been bitten by a tick? So no, this isn't about a camping trip gone wrong. This is about a global, invisible epidemic. And millions of people, especially women, are being told, it is just stress. It's just postpartum. It is just in your head. Let me be clear. Babesia destroys your red blood cells like malaria. It's that bad. Bartonella inflames blood vessels and mimics trauma. Mycoplasma hides inside your white blood cells and eats away your brain and your nerves. Epstein-Barr virus and cytomegalovirus suppress your immune system so badly it cannot fight anything off. And when they all gang up on your system, your immune system doesn't just struggle, it collapses. Your body starts attacking ghosts. You're in a war zone and the enemy keeps changing clothes. Your nervous system spirals. Your gut shuts down. Your brain misfires. And the doctors, they look at your labs and say, everything looks normal. You look perfectly healthy to me. This is not a coincidence. This is not rare. This is a system that was built to fail you. And you deserve to know the truth. It's not that your body is broken. And it's not that you're tired or you're weak or you're chronically fatigued. It's that your body has been ambushed completely. And nobody warned you this could happen. So let me tell you what does work. What I use in my clinic. First, bioenergetic scans. They don't rely on antibodies. They scan for frequency imbalances tied to Borrelia, Babesia, Bartonella, mold, and more. They listen to your body, not your paperwork. Also, muscle testing. This isn't magic. It's neurophysiology. We test your body's response to pathogenic signatures. If it weakens when exposed to Lyme frequencies, that means it's there. I also recommend dark fields microscopy. They can actually look at your live blood under a microscope, sometimes even catch spirochetes in early stages before they hide in biofilms. So here's the truth in plain English. ELISA and Western blot look for antibodies, but Lyme shuts that system down. Remember the jackets we were talking about? Bioenergetic scans detect the frequency of Lyme and its friends. Muscle testing shows real-time nervous system response to a pathogen. You guessed it, Lyme. And dark fields microscopy may show early spirochetes, but not if it's hidden, but it does help a lot. So here is the bottom line. If you're chronically sick, gaslit by doctors, misdiagnosed, and still being told nothing's wrong, it is not in your head. It's in your blood. It's in your nervous system. And it's screaming for somebody to listen. So please look somewhere else. That is the smart choice, to actually look for answers. I also call it the holistic choice. And it starts right now. And that is one of the greatest tools I can offer you. Don't take the system too seriously. Walk into every waiting room, every hospital, every misdiagnosis with as much humor, grace, and lightness as you can possibly muster. Doctors are not gods. You're not here to be a patient forever. Mark my words. You're here to heal. And if it's not happening fast, look somewhere else. I am telling you this so you remember. Doctors are not gods. Their words are not final, and their diagnoses are not prophecies. I've met women who know more about their own bodies than the specialist they waited 6 months to see. Trust yourself. Now, I believe there are doctors out there who do think outside the box and that have access to the correct information from a root cause perspective. Don't get me wrong. But you see, it's not always the doctor's fault. It's what they've been taught, to trust the test. And if a test is negative, then the patient is okay. They're taught to cut, to suppress symptoms, to prescribe meds, not to heal, not to investigate root causes, not to look at the full picture. And yes, there are wonderful doctors out there. I've met a few. But when you're dealing with something complex, layered, and invisible, don't you dare settle for a couple of pills and a name for your symptoms. because healing deserves more than that. So take what helps, leave the rest, and never hand over your power just because someone wears a white coat.